What is happening? Today we are going to take a quick look at Magic Forest Dragon Quest, and I am truly confused with this game. You start off easy enough with some in-game NPCs telling you some things and learning a few basics, but you learn real quick that the game will auto-play itself, and not long after that, after you get started, it feels like you were dropped off in the middle of just some game and you're expected to go. Let me explain real quick. I don't really know what the story is. You're some kind of hero, obviously, and you're there to help out on Dragon Island, and that's like all I can gather. There is no coherent story to this at all. You go from one area to the next, and there's a lot of sub areas where you need to do certain tasks. You finish that task, you leave that area, and as far as I can tell, you don't really go back to it exactly. It's like they made these tiny little mini dungeons that take a couple of seconds to complete. The areas don't feel like they're connected in any way. It's like as if you're just there. And the only thing that feels familiar between the regions is the design elements, but again, there's no real story to it. I literally went from like fighting monsters to competing in some kind of lame dance challenge and then back to fighting monsters. And you'll notice that the screen seems very convoluted, and that's because it is. There is a lot going on here. And honestly, I hate it. Even playing on a phone with a 6.8-inch screen, some of the icons are very small and they're hard to tap, but there's too many elements here. They could have easily maybe combined these into some sub-menus and make it more streamlined, but it's all over the place if you look at this UI. Now, the auto-playing. The game will literally just auto-play, and I don't see any way to turn it off. I was checking out other Google Play reviews, and sure enough, like everyone is saying the same thing. If you leave your character idle for 30 seconds, it'll just start going, and I think it'll auto-play no matter what screen comes up. I think there was like a few exceptions here and there where it required a small manual input, like you had to click on something on the screen, but 95% of the time it was auto. And you'll notice that the audio quality in this game sucks pretty bad. It comes off as very like lo-fi. The voice acting is mostly terrible, and there's a few instances where someone like sounded a little bit decent, but it's almost all bad. I think the exception was this little helper fairy that comes up. You'll see her from time to time. She actually sounded like maybe that was a professional voice actor. I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone, but it sounds like they didn't use professional voice actors at all. To me, it sounds like they used their own staff, which isn't the first time a developer has done that, but it's pretty clear that they didn't use professionals. Now, every game usually has something positive to mention, but I'm really struggling with this one. They have some okay looking chibi artwork characters, but it's nothing really special. I guess you could say there's a lot to this game. There's a lot of random game mechanics, but nothing that really links them together to make any kind of sense. The game throws all these various aspects at you all at once without slowly introducing them as time goes on, like you normally would see in a lot of games. And that's reflected in, if you just look at the UI, you can see that. Now they give you like a 2000 draw bonus, so I mean that's kind of something, but I'm not sure what this game is supposed to be. If it's supposed to be some type of like massive attempt at a cash grab, but even then that doesn't make a lot of sense because usually they would want you to see a benefit in a pay-to-play scenario, and I don't really see that at all yet because you can play the game just fine without needing anything extra. But maybe like later on that changes and where you get frustrated and you're going to want to pay to play or something to that effect. I'm not sure. They send you to one area to the next without really explaining too much about who you are or what you need to do in the grand scheme, other than that you're on Dragon Island and you're fighting monsters. You don't feel connected to the world or the story in any way because there's no real story. Like you just kind of drop in and go. By the time I was finished playing this, I almost felt like I understood the auto battle system because it's so convoluted. You almost feel lost at what you're trying to do, so you almost need the system to do it for you. So should you play this? If you want to waste your time in the worst way possible, go ahead. But I'm done with this one. This has been Blue Screen Attack. Get me out of here. I'll see you in the next game.